Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Bandai Dragon Ball Super Dragon Stars series Vegeta and Super Saiyan Vegeta. I decided to put these guys all in one review because they're essentially the same figure, just with some pretty much color changes. So we can knock it out in one video, and you guys will get to see both of them next to each other. So I thought that'd be a good idea. I do have the whole line. If you didn't see the unboxing video, go check that out from the other day. There'll be a link in the top corner right there if you want to check that out. But yeah, we're going to be doing the whole line. These are a pretty cool batch of figures. They're definitely not on par with Figuarts. They're not supposed to be, though. These are at a much lower price point. And so these are a good alternative for different needs. They're not interchangeable, but they are a good alternative. That's a good way of putting it. So let's go ahead and take him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands to the top of his head about 5.5 inches, including his hair about 6 3/4, pretty close to that. That's going to make him just about, let's say, 14 centimeters to the top of his actual head, closer to 17 to the top of his hair. And as I said, these guys are essentially the exact same figure, just with different colors. So most of what I said, pretty much everything other than the paint job, is going to be universal for these guys. So I'm not going to continually hold up both of them, but you can see right now the differences are essentially a lighter blue for Super Saiyan, and then of course the hair color changes are a little bit different. I'm not positive if the heads are the exact same sculpt. The hair seems to be, but the faces, I'm not sold either way because the paint jobs are so different. It's hard for me to say, but either way, they're definitely kind of stylized, but I think they look kind of cool. So the big question is, people are going to ask me, and they've probably already been asking me, I know they have, are these guys interchangeable with the Figuarts? And well, here's the thing, Figuarts cost a whole lot more. Scale wise, I don't know. This Vegeta is definitely not in scale with the other figures, but in terms of overall size, Vegeta is almost the same size both ways. You know what I mean? Like, he's the same in both scales, but I don't know. I don't know how that's going to line up in terms of collectability. So I really don't like comparing unlike things. These are totally different price points, not at all in the same vein, but I mean, these are sized well enough that if you needed to, you could put them in your collection, I guess, in the same collection. So you guys are going to have to decide for yourself what you think about that. And I'll have photos at the end with a few more comparisons, but I don't have all my Figuarts with me, so I can't do that. But I have the rest of these guys, so you'll see. You know, it's just a totally different price point. Funny enough, though, the Figuarts one, which costs so much, which I just kind of tore into in a review not too long ago, has far less shading on it than this one. Granted, the overall quality is not as high on this figure since it's less than half the price. But look at that. This thing's shaded throughout the entire figure almost, except for the white and yellow. And this guy has basically none, including the white and whatever. Okay, let's set him aside. So yeah, these guys are, like I said, much cheaper, but they're kind of a fun alternative. So they do come with some accessories in that they have interchangeable hands and a Build-A-Figure Shenron, which I'll have in a separate video. But they each have a pair of fist hands and then a pair of open hands or style pose hands, Kamehameha hands, whatever you want to call them. I've heard that their hands are interchangeable with the Figuarts ones. So if you already have some of those, then you have extra hands for these guys. So like I said, not necessarily the high quality of finish, but they do have shading throughout. This one, if it's on there, it's a whole lot less noticeable. This one has a ton. I'm guessing that's intentional because of the Super Saiyan aspect. The hair is metallic, but the faces are painted pretty cleanly. I think I'm okay with that. They look pretty good. The yellow and white areas are painted well enough for the armor. Only real downside for the paint job is around the neck, like the collar of the blue. On both of them, it's a little questionable. It's not terrible, but it's not great. So I think that's okay. So let's go ahead and use this one for the articulation part. The head is on a fixed ball peg, so you're essentially going to get a rotation and then just a little bit of leaning, not a whole lot. A little bit side to side, a little bit front and back. That's it. Ball hinge for the shoulder, not a ball peg connection, so it's just a swivel at this end and at this end. So it rotates around, which is fine, but you can't raise the arm up horizontally, so that's definitely kind of a bummer. I think they did that for aesthetics. As you can see, there's no hinge up here for you to see, but it doesn't go up very far, so that's up to you. We do have a bicep swivel right here, which is fine. Double jointed elbow works really nicely. Very, very good job there. We have a ball hinge wrist, which is definitely a nice bonus. You have full rotation there, full movement there, no problems at all. No torso articulation, just a ball peg for the waist, which does have leaning. It does lean side to side, front and back, full rotation, so that's pretty good. And then for the hips, we have our drop-down hinge, or our hinged ball peg. So just like the Figuarts, you can extend the leg to give yourself better range. You still don't get the best of range. I mean, it's essentially the exact same joint design, but you don't have the best of range, but it's definitely good enough. I mean, like I said, it's a $20 figure roughly, depending on where you get it. I'll put some price points in the description so you guys can check it out. But, you know, it's not bad at all for what it is. The knee, double jointed knee, works just fine. I like that they're rounded rather than boxy and squared off like Marvel Legends, so that's pretty cool. And for the ankle, it's just a ball peg like the Figuarts. It has decent range, a little bit of ankle rocker, a little bit forward and back. Not the best range, but it's there. So, you know, are these a perfect substitute for Figuarts? Definitely not. They're not supposed to be, though. Are these great for kids? Absolutely. Are these great to have just a nice little fun collection that doesn't cost too much? Absolutely. So, you know, people are going to do that comparison thing, and I get why people do that, but it's definitely not applicable to this set of figures. They're not supposed to be the same thing, but for what they are, I think they're pretty darn good. I'm guessing a lot of people are going to complain about them because they're not on par with Figuarts, and they shouldn't do that because they're not supposed to be. So yeah, these figures get my thumbs up. This is not even the best example of them. This is, technically speaking, I think Frieza's probably the best, so we're going to save him for last. But it's definitely, both of these are definitely solid figures for the price point, and I'm going to say I recommend them. If you're into what these are offering, then you're going to be pretty happy. It is worth noting that the Super Saiyan Vegeta has blue inside his arm socket, and this one has white. The one with the blue looks much better, but no big deal either way. So there it is, guys. Yeah, I give them my thumbs up. Just make sure you're buying them for the right reasons, and I think you'll be pretty happy. So there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.